Hey everybody, it's Jack and Lacey today, and we're going to do an update on the princess tank.
Yeah, this is Lacey's favorite tank, right, Lace?
Yeah.
Because it's the only one you can really see, right? She wants a cookie. Okay, yes, you get a cookie. You're so cute when you crunch. That'd be utterly obnoxious if a human chewed like that, but it's so cute when you do it, isn't it? Crunch, crunch, crunch. All right, so this is Lacey's favorite tank. That's why she's in the video today, because it's real close to the ground and she can come up to it and see it. So this is, I'm gonna turn this light off so you can see a little better. So this is the beach tank. We made this a couple years ago, and we had female betas in it and different things like that, right?
Yes.
And this kind of rack, we're gonna be doing updates on this whole rack, by the way. Everything on this rack has changed. So we're gonna be doing a video on each thing on this rack. But we're starting with the bottom here. These are the guppies. We got a deal on these guppies. They had a deal on some kind of website. I forget which one. I'll put a link in the description for the video. A few months back, quite a few months back, we decided, because we had a female beta here, Mary Brownfield, right? And she ended up, we tried to breed her with Wade. He didn't want to breed. He was too old. And she was big. She was the biggest female beta we've ever seen in our entire lives, right? She was.
Yeah, she's pretty girthy. Yeah.
She was a battle axe, man. But she liked this tank and hung out, and she eventually died. She was a couple years old. And we put some guppies in here, and they had a sale. I think it was like tropical fish something or other. Anyway, I'll put the video and the thing, the unboxing and all that. And it was just basically red guppies. And we think they're a mixture, some kind of hybrid or something. They might be like red German guppies. Some people thought that possibly they were albinos, but they don't have the red eyes. So who watched that video. So we think that they're just, you know, some kind of hybrid thing. But they came out being quite handsome, quite a few months old now, probably 6 months old total since they were born. And there are a few females in here. You can see the males being a little bit aggressive. The females are getting pretty big and girthy. They have had babies a couple times. Down here, you can actually see some of the babies have gotten pretty big. There's one of the babies right there, and there's a couple back there by the castle. In the tank, in the video where we redid this tank, we put a sponge filter in this castle and moved it over to the side, and then we got a new castle and put it over here. There's another one of the babies there that's a couple months old, because they had you know, babies initially. And there's a couple of really tiny little babies that they recently just had. But anyway, there's 2 females and a few males, and there are some babies, and we're not sure if we're just gonna kind of let nature take its course and see what happens in here. We do have some other tanks that we can possibly put them in if you know, we don't want the babies to mix in. But I'm trying to, oh, there's a couple of the really tiny babies. Look right in front of the pink castle there. You can see one just went in. They do go in the castles, the tiny little babies. There's one over there, way over there back by the trees coming through. Here it comes. Yep, you can see the tiny little babies there. So this tank has done miraculously well. I think there's one autosynchronous in here, maybe. They tend to hide in the castles, and so do the babies. But the nearite snails that Jack initially put in here to signify beach balls, we had quite a few. Some of them have died, and they've just kind of pushed down into the sand there, and some of them have lived. If we don't push those down into the sand when they die, we like to leave them in there for decoration. If we don't push them down, then the ones that are alive will crawl on top of them and kind of roll them over, right?
Yeah.
So we just kind of push those down into the sand. But anyway, this beach tank has worked out really well. These 2 little castles are awesome. We basically put sponge filters inside of them to hide them, and you can see the air is coming out of the smokestacks. We're just running a tiny little sponge filter inside of those. And these guppies are looking fantastic. They really contrast well against the blue sand background. This is the little pool we made out of a detergent container. As you can see from this glass shelf lighting up, we have a little under gravel filter in here. So at night, that little pool lights up, and we'll put a little video at the end of this to show that. It's really neat. We've done videos on this before. So at night, when everything's dark, that little thing kind of lights up and turns blue. And of course, once in a while, one of the snails, oh, there's some of the little tiny babies again. See them right there? They're coming up to the chair, the lounge chair. Oh, there's one. You can see him when he goes on to the blue.
And they get along pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many places to hide. They kind of hide in these palm trees and stuff. And those are cake toppings. We got those on Etsy for like $1.50 or something, shipped. And they're cake toppings. And we just put them in here to make a beach tank. And everyone just loves this tank. Now, the pothos obviously comes down all the way from the top. We made a pothos tank. And this pothos just wraps around this, and it goes into each and every tank here and kind of ends up in this tank. And so we don't have to do water changes or anything. And we hardly have to ever really do anything to this tank. The pothos remove the nitrates, and the tiny little sponge filters do a miraculous job of keeping this water very clean. We top it off, it go down about a centimeter or two in a week or two, depending on the weather. But overall, these guys are just a joy. This is just such an awesome, cute little tank, and Lacey loves it, don't you, Lace? Where'd she go? Lace, where are you? Here. She likes this one. Don't you, huh? She's like, yeah. Now, she does go up on the pond, and she puts her hands up on the pond, and she can kind of look over. But she likes to come over and check this one out. And it's really the only one she can reach. But anyway, these guys are cool. Why don't you grab some food, dude, and put a little bit of food in here. Probably what we'll do is we'll do some feeding videos separately, but we'll put a few little flakes in here just so you can kind of see these guys. If anybody knows what they are, I mean, we've looked at different ones. We don't really care what they are. I mean, they're probably, again, a mixture, but we got them for really cheap, and they're super gorgeous, and they're having babies. And like I said, we'll probably take some of the babies out, put them in some other tanks we have, or whatever. We might trade them in at our LFS. We always trade stuff in there. Yeah, let's give a couple of pinches of flake food in there. They do certainly like to eat. We just put a little flake food in there. You can see the males' tails are getting pretty long on some of them. They really didn't have long fins at all when we first got them. And kind of show from the top. These guys are pretty cool from the top too. Isn't that cool how the tank looks? A little beach theme. And then see that one male right there. He's pretty handsome. But anyway, just a little guppy tank, a little beach theme, totally cool. If you've never really done anything like this, very easy. What we did is we took an old detergent container, washed it real good, made it like a little oasis, put the sand in. We siliconed it to the bottom so it would stay and wouldn't move. And if you haven't seen those videos, you can check out our playlist. Just scroll down an aquarium playlist to the beach tank. And we just put a little beach theme on the back, a couple of castles, a couple of tiny little sponge filters that fit inside, and some cake toppings. And the cake toppings actually, where we got the trees, actually included the lounge chair and umbrella. And the nearite snails make kind of cool little beach balls. I think there's a nearite snail right over here. There we go. Right on the, so they do keep this tank very clean on this castle. You can see we drill holes in the castle to like kind of let the air and the, flow in and out and stuff. Because that one didn't have a ton. This castle, oops, sorry, Lace. She's like, where are you at? Huh? There you are. You like this tank, don't you, huh? Tell everybody hi. She's like, I've had enough, I'm bored. This castle over here goes along the whole side over here. This castle has a lot more, doors and windows and cracks and openings, so we didn't really have to drill anything in it. And this tiny little sponge filter that goes inside each one of those. So if you ever want to build one of these, it's super cute, super nice. You can put guppies, you can put betas, you can put anything. There's another one of those. See the tiny, tiny little baby over the pool there? There they are, when they go over the pool of blue. So we'll see. We'll probably let some of these guys grow. We'll take them and trade them in. And if anybody knows what they are definitively, certainly let us know in the comments. But we're not super concerned about it. I mean, they always give us lots of trade in at Best in Pets for whatever we bring them. They're really cool to us. But yeah, a couple of pothos roosts, keep it clean, sponge filters. This thing's been together, what, total, like 2 years now? 2.5 years maybe since we started it?
Yeah, that's it, huh?
And we've never had to clean it, ever. We've never had to clean it. We've never had to do water change.
Never had any algae buildup or anything.
Yeah, nothing, because the pothos just pulls everything out. We only put the light on for about a few hours a night. This is just an old LED strip that we actually have underneath the other tank, and it just shines through because it's glass. So it just shines into there. We've let the top open. We do leave it down a couple centimeters, like I said, so nobody jumps out. And that hasn't been an issue in this tank or anything, and it's just super, super cool. So anyway, we'll set it up. We'll probably do a feeding video soon on these guys, maybe some slow motion stuff, which is always fun. But honestly, these guys for a couple dollars a piece, super cool looking, aren't they, man?
Yeah.
I mean, they're super neat. Pamela loves this tank too. She's just like, it's just too pretty. It's too cute. You see those babies there will kind of jet away when the males come around, and they'll go hide in the castles or the trees or these other castles. So there we go, guys. Just wanted to kind of do a follow-up on it. One of our favorite tanks, one of our favorite projects we've ever done. Let me turn this big light back on. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to have some follow-ups coming up. This is our man cave. We're going to talk about what we did in there. That's our Guardians of the Galaxies tank. Talk about what we did in there. And this is the original big Pothos rack that we had beta in. We have some new guys in there. Very excited about those guys. We actually just rewatched the Guardians because it came to Disney Plus, Guardians 3. So that's really awesome. So we'll be doing a follow-up on all those guys one at a time, and then, you know, lots of shorts and stuff and feeding and things like that. Anything else to add, man? It's a fun little tank, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And Lacey likes it. She can look at it. It's cool.
Yeah.
And George likes to look at it too.
Yeah, they come over and they just stare at it sometimes. But she's not in the mood today. She just wanted a cookie. And she's like, I did your stupid picture. Let me out. All right, guys, take care. Thanks for checking it out. We'll see you soon.
Goodbye.